This screencast focuses on Chapter 6 of the Scarlet Letter. Chapter 6 of the Scarlet Letter is titled Pearl, and as such, it focuses entirely, really for the first time, on Hester's daughter, Pearl. She is described in various ways as a strange but very beautiful young child. And due to their situation and the lives that they are forced to lead, Hester's entire world currently revolves around her young daughter. At the time of this chapter, Pearl is around the age of 3 years old. Again, as a result of the adultery, as a result of living on the outskirts of town, in the abandoned cottage, completely on their own, Pearl and Hester are complete social outcasts. Hester is not allowed to participate in Puritan society in any way, and neither is Pearl. As a result, Pearl was never baptized. They are not allowed to go to church. Pearl is not allowed to go to any type of school or associate with any of the children in town. As a result, the two of them only have each other for company. Early in the chapter, the author or narrator talks about the fact that Pearl is like her mother in many ways. She is a pretty child. She is defiant. She is not afraid to speak her mind, even at this young age. And she doesn't seem to care at all about the Puritan society norms. Because she's not around any other children, because she doesn't go to church, because she doesn't go to school, she behaves very differently from those children. Her only companionship is her mother, and as a result of that, she tends to be a little bit more mature than other children her age. Hester, of course, loves her daughter very much, but she also worries a lot about her. She worries about her for the obvious reasons. The fact that she does not have a father, the fact that she is not able to play with anyone else, the fact that she has to entertain herself with the things of the forest, things like rocks and sticks and the ocean, that she does not have any playmates. All of those things make Hester worry about Pearl. But more than that, Hester worries a lot about Pearl's behavior. First of all, the people in town call her a demon child or a devil child. They do that for a couple of different reasons. First of all, the most obvious reason is that of her origin. She is the product of sin, so the townspeople consider her just to be an extension of that same sin. But Hester is closer to Pearl, and she does worry about her for her behavior. The fact that she speaks her mind so freely, the fact that she is not entirely respectful of the societal norms of Puritan society. All of those things worry Hester a great deal. And Hester has a problem sometimes controlling Pearl and her behavior. And in those moments when Pearl is acting out in a way that Hester is unable to control or explain, she sometimes also worries that Hester is that Pearl is this demon child that the townspeople say that she is. And Hester sometimes calls her an imp, which is spelled I-M-P. And that is kind of a devilish fairy, kind of an evil fairy or person. And that is sometimes what Hester calls her. Also, Hester worries sometimes in these moments of difficulty whether or not Pearl was sent to her by the devil to continue punishing her for her sin of adultery. However, please note that even though Hester worries about these things in relation to Pearl, she does love her child very much, and she takes very good care of her, the best care possible in the situation that they are in. Most of the time, Hester looks on Pearl as a gift, but sometimes she worries about her and wonders that she may also be a curse. Pearl is, of course, as I've said earlier, she's not afraid to stand up for herself. Oftentimes, when she and her mother are walking through the community to make deliveries of the things that Hester has sown, they attract the attention of townspeople, especially the children. The children make fun of them. They throw things at them. Um, that the children are aware of how Hester is looked on in the community, so they feel they have license to abuse her in this way. Hester puts her head down and walks quietly through town. She, on some level, seems to believe that she is deserving of this type of behavior, but Pearl does not do those things. Pearl picks up rocks, throws them at the children, chases them away, again, which just seems to be another example of her possibly being, some sort of devil or demon child. The community doesn't see it as Pearl standing up for herself, but Pearl sees it in that way. Also have in your notes that Pearl understands, as best as she can at her young age, that she and her mother are outcasts. She notices that they don't do things like other families. They don't live in a nice home. They don't go to church. She doesn't have any friends. They don't have a regular family. She notices these things as best she can. Basically, what she notices is that their lives, her and Hester's lives, are very different from those of the other people in Boston. And also, she notices that they are treated badly by people. So she is making note of those things, and she understands that they are different. Even at her very young age, possibly because she only has Hester to talk to, so she is more mature than other children. Even at her young age, she asks her mother about her origins. She asks her mother, where did I come from? She notices that she doesn't have, the same sort of family structure as other children. Hester, trying the same explanation that she gives to the people in the town of Boston, tells Pearl that you came from thy heavenly Father. You came from heaven. This is, again, the only Father that you will ever need or know. Pearl, even at her young age, is absolutely not accepting of this answer. In fact, she laughs at it. She laughs at the idea that she came from heaven, that she came from God. This is another example of why Hester worries so much about her daughter. Children that age, she does not feel should question the fact that they came from a heavenly Father. So that concerns her. Also, she is concerned because even at this very young age, it is clear that very soon she's going to have an explanation for Pearl about where she did come from, that the answers that she gives are not working now and they will not work for her in the future. In addition to that, have in your notes that Pearl seems fascinated or obsessed by her mother's letter A. In fact, Hester feels sometimes that Pearl torments her about the letter A. She is constantly touching it, pulling at it, throwing things at it. Again, seems very, very aware of the fact that her mother has a letter A and that no one else does, and that she is curious about it. Hester feels that she is just simply constantly reminding her mother that she wears this letter A. And all of those things go along with Hester's very, very high level of concern about who her daughter is and what her daughter's purposes are in her life.